slowly, I started seeing like more and more people, more and more places like shutting down, and I was like, okay, this must be.
Yeah, I mean, at the
quite
beginning
serious,
it was like
yeah.
a very distant thing.
Yeah.
That it comes from the other part of the world, basically.
Exactly.
And you wouldn't think it would come to your house.
It seems to be a very, very pernicious, nasty kind of virus.
I think the first time it hit was when my friend heard about something that happened in Italy where they were digging like mass graves and stuff, and then I was like, oh my God.
Going into a supermarket in the UK and seeing vast array of shelves empty, that shouldn't happen.
And having to queue to get into them as well.
And having to queue to get into them.
She spent about a week on the COVID wards, which was really anxiety generating at the time. So we were both concerned about the lack of PPE. And in fact, we spent one evening getting out our old DIY goggles and things like that for her to take in. And I remember that evening just feeling pretty terrified about the entire situation. So I think it's been a real mix.
Like my sister, she's a surgeon, and I called her the other day, and she's quite traumatized because death is just normality now.
It's massive.
Yeah, like she's like, oh, if someone doesn't die today, then I'll be surprised.
Well, I don't
Well,
think
we
they'd
like
have it.
theatre, don't we? And we like films. We can't do any of that.
We can't go to the cinema. We haven't been to the cinema for ages. I can't
No.
remember the last film.
And we eat out quite a lot, and we can't do that either.
And it just got harder and harder because there's people that you have connections, you have these relationships with people.
You need to socialize with other
and as
people
much as you
other
can,
than
as
your
much as
flatmates.
technology brought us together, and it's really easy to keep in touch. It's like that sort of like connection they have.
That's not
when
the real thing.
Yeah, exactly. When you meet up with someone, there's like energy being like transferred from one another, and it's different.
It's sort of like the lack of physical contact. Like obviously it's great being able to like hug the people that you live with, but like friends that you haven't seen in a while, like people that you are really close to that you don't live with, like just not being able to do that feels like, I don't know, feels really empty.
I end up just talking too much, and I say something really strange that like I've read in a book or seen in a film or something that has no context. But it's just because I'm enjoying saying words to people.
One of my favourite memories of the entire lockdown has been creating a tent in our bedroom out of that foil that you get after you run a half marathon. You get given it, and for some reason I kept it, and me and my daughter were creating a tent out of it, and it was so much fun. It's not the sort of thing that you'd usually do on a Saturday afternoon. And yeah, I have really happy memories from situations like that.
The first time we were allowed to go and sit on the beach and actually sit there with a cup of coffee, and I literally sat on the beach and cried because it was just so lovely to be able to sit and settle outdoors, you know, rather than just feeling like you had to constantly keep moving and exercising and stuff. And you know, the outdoors is so important for me.
And I used to walk the dog down the road. It was my first time I stepped outdoors because I was literally indoors, even after isolation for like another week.
Yeah.
I was so scared to go outdoors, and my first time out, it was a bit cold, and I was wearing a coat and a cap and a mask and the gloves, and you were walking with flip-flops next to me, and all the people driving through, they're staring at us. Do you remember?
Yeah, it's funny.
Litter everywhere, groups of like 10 to 12. And this is where I felt like the kind of anger towards the sort of the 8 p.m. clap.
Yeah.
Because people are not abiding by the rules. Actually, by doing so, I think there'll be a second wave. Then more strain on the NHS, leading to more deaths and people dying whilst they're working and helping us. But as soon as the 8 p.m. came along and everyone was like, woo, clapping, like drunk.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so ironic and it's so misplaced. And I think that is the hilarious thing about it, because that 1 minute clap negates everything you've ever done. And also...
Yeah, it's almost like you've hit the reset button.
Yeah, you're like, I'm great, I clapped. Did you clap? I clapped. Yeah. Like, it's... No.
I'll probably cry, but my biggest fear was losing your mum.
Same. Yeah.
That was my biggest fear.
Do you remember that day when you rang me up, or you texted me or something? You said Mum's got a cough, and I went into a total spin for about half an hour.
Yeah.
And that was.
And have you got a thermometer? Because we haven't got one.
But at the same time, for me, it was just really good like time to get inside my own head and just like analyze a lot of things and just get like more introspective about where I am in life and like just my connection to reality in general, because like we forget how like short everything is and how like quickly everything can just go, like how mortal we are, right? And this is just like a quick reminder of.
It's been a great time to
appreciate it,
to appreciate it and to think
enjoy
a lot about like the present and the future and to sort things out maybe.
Yeah, I think it's just more about the present and being in the present, because this just shows you how uncertain future is, and if you're not enjoying the present, then you never know where it might be.
Yeah, you can never be too sure about the future.
I think there's something quite reassuring about this phrase that we keep on hearing, the new normal, in that things will be different and we won't go back to how things used to be, but over time they will feel normal again. And so that's something I try to sort of hold on to when I feel a bit anxious, is that we will get used to whatever situation arises in the future.